nothing bad ever happens to
Clone High.
Way back.
Ah yes, nothing like a cartoon from 17 years ago, all of a sudden having a resurgence because one of its main characters has finally found himself to become a meme.
Oh, JFK. I can't bear to talk about it.
Thank God, because I hate it
It
when...
all started freshman year. I was elected president.
And hey, I may be a little late jumping on the bandwagon, but I'm not complaining. A lot of the memes featuring JFK have been awesome. I find it funny that people like him more than the main character of the show, and the obsession for him is very well welcome.
Way back in the 1980s, secret government employees dug up famous guys and ladies and made amusing genetic copies. Now the clones are sexy teens. Now they're gonna be...
God, I want one of those. Now I know that the resurgence is in due part because it was announced a couple months ago that the show was going to be rebooted, with creators Phil Lord and Christopher Miller returning. But even so, Clone High has had multiple jokes throughout the past decade or so that have become memes all of a sudden. Remember this one from around 2010?
Okay, the line is, say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say
What?
what? Say what?
Gandhi!
Ah yes, I remember the days of early YouTube and how this one scene had many remixes. It was awesome.
Say
Say what?
Say what?
Gandhi!
I didn't even know what the show was at the time. I was just obsessed with the remixes. My point is this. Clone High has remained relevant in the subconscious of the internet culture due to its quotability and cult classic status.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Its place in pop culture has remained consistent and not constrained to the year it was released, 2002 to 2003. In fact, it continues to be celebrated to this day. So, why did it only have one season? The beauty about Clone High is that it only lasted 13 episodes. With so much potential, it's almost a wonder why the thing even ended so soon. Well, for one, the show lacked any real eye-popping ratings according to MTV. But to go even further than that, what led to the final demise of Clone High was Gandhi. Yep, that's right. As many of you may already know, Gandhi killed the show. He led it to its eventual farewell.
Dude, that's a 3-story drop.
I don't care, I'm going for it. Oh my god, I can see my bone!
So, for context, Maxim magazine created a cartoon in which Gandhi was treated like garbage, being thrown around and beat up. The country of India found this comic which sparked mass outrage amongst its people. India proceeded to conduct web searches for the magazine, and while searching for the cartoon, Clone High was caught in the crossfire, with searches of cartoon Gandhi leading to the character found in Clone High. On January 30th, 2003, 150 protesters gathered and vowed to fast in response to Clone High. Tom Freston, the head of Viacom and owner of MTV at the time, found himself trapped at India's MTV network branch, in which Freston recalled that the protesters basically threatened that they'd revoke MTV's broadcasting license in India if they didn't take the show off the air. MTV apologized, stating that Clone High was created and intended for an American audience, and that they recognize and respect the fact that various cultures may view this programming differently, and that they regretted any offenses taken by the content in the show. In an effort to save the show, MTV allowed the creators to pitch a second season without Gandhi. Lloyd and Miller made two pitches, one in which there was no mention of Gandhi's absence, and the other suggesting Gandhi was actually a clone of Gary Coleman the entire time, and the show continued as normal. Viacom said no. 17 years following the show's cancellation, I intend to defend Gandhi as a character in the show, and that his representation, although foolish, is miles better than what the Maxim magazine depicted of him. For one, although it may be conjecture, I don't think such controversy surrounding Gandhi would have ever happened if it weren't for the magazine Maxim. Maxim magazine is a men's magazine, which is known for its outlandish humor. I mean, in the same issue of the magazine, there's a column in which it states how to cure a feminist into, and I quote, an actual girl. Yeah, it's not for everyone by any means. Included in the issue is a workout guide of a dude flinging Gandhi around. I have no high quality image of this. Just know that if I were Indian, I'd be pretty upset as well. Jesus, why Gandhi out of any figure? I guess I get it. His presence upon world history views him as a soft figure who stands for peace, which makes for a literal punchline. Well, there he goes. Okay, so the realisticness to this cartoon adds to it being insulting. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got the height right and everything. The reason why why I don't take the Gandhi depiction in Clone High so seriously is because it's so exaggerated, with its incredibly cartoonish nature. It's not even the actual Gandhi, it's a clone of him for God's sake. Sure, he may act like a fool, but unlike the other cartoon, there's no use of the realistic Gandhi.
Koala, boomerang, wallaby, oi, oi, oi. Shrimp on a barbie.
This quest is too hard. What would the real Gandhi do? Hey, Dragon! I'm thinking about going on a hunger strike, but I've never tried Vegemite.
Never tried Vegemite? Wait here, I'll fix you a Sammy.
To Indians, Gandhi's non-violent campaign for India's independence from British rule speaks volumes to them. To see a British magazine such as Maxim insulting Gandhi in such a way was sure to fuel controversy. But hey, taking frustration into account, I can easily understand why Indians got so frustrated at Clone High. I wouldn't be too happy if as soon as I saw this image, I was greeted by a cartoon that mocked Gandhi. It's literally adding insult to injury.
Hey, community! Skinny dipping in the piranha mode! Yo! Everybody get naked! Woo!
But to put it in a historical perspective, the real Gandhi as an adolescent and young adult was in ways similar to Clone High's Gandhi. Oh no, not in an exaggerated cartoonish nature, but more in a rebellious type of way. Gandhi as a teenager rejected the idea of a strong Hindu ethic, which was the emphasis of vegetarianism, religious tolerance, and non-violence. Gandhi was a rebellious teenager. He would often drink, eat meat, and was a big womanizer. In fact, when his dad was on his deathbed, instead of staying there by his side, Gandhi went to go sleep with a woman. Not exactly a stellar adolescent by any means when it comes to the Hindu ethic. But the general idea that Gandhi believed in was self-improvement, that one can truly learn from wrongs that they may have done. And in some weird way, that's one of the main themes of Clone High, that the clones are merely teenagers who are only learning from the mistakes they have made. Each episode of the show is a parody of the ABC After School special, which were dramatically presented in situations of the interest of children and teenagers who are going through crucial years in their development, to make mistakes and to learn from them.
Hey, Joey. What's the matter, man? My parents are getting a divorce. It's tough.
Watch My Dad Lives in a Downtown Hotel, an ABC after-school special.
Believe it or not, there is a moral to each episode of Clone High, although it may seem comically contrived. And at a glance, although it may seem like Gandhi as a character in the show is incredibly disrespectful to the original peaceful protester, he is still only learning to become better, as we all are. For example, I as an individual continue to make mistakes. In fact, there are many things that I've said that I regret to this day, but that's everyone. Best we can do is learn from it and carry on from that burden. Also, he's just a cartoon, so he has that going for him.
Shabba boo ba 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 pow! Hibba and hibba.
Gandhi, stop! You're out of control!
So, do I want Gandhi to return to Clone High in the eventual reboot? Yes, I want Gandhi to still be Gandhi, not as Gary Coleman or any other character. But the reality is, how likely is that going to happen? I find it even more unlikely today that Gandhi can return as a clone of the historical figure. Okay, so I'm not sure which network the reboot will be premiering on, if it'll be MTV or a streaming site, but knowing why the show ended in the first place, perhaps the networks won't take that chance again with having Gandhi as a character. And hell, if they have to tone down how Gandhi acts to appease to the networks and change his overall personality in doing so, then the show shouldn't return with him then, as that in general would be painful to watch. At that point, I think it would be better to call him a clone of Gary Coleman in order to have some sort of resemblance of the character we all know and love. Clone High without Gandhi would feel somewhat lost, as he's part of the main cast, and his disappearance would definitely be felt. Plus, the show needs Abe to have a best friend, in which he can juggle punchlines with, and I'll be damned if we lose the best ship in the entire show. I guess now that I'm here, I should label off my hopes for the Clone High reboot. I hope the show kicks off following the events of Season 1. I don't want the series to be completely rebooted with an all-new storyline. I believe the way Season 1 ends makes for a perfect way to continue where things left off. My hope is that the characters we've grown to cherish and celebrate for the past 17 years stay true to who they are. Knowing the creators of Clone High and what they've worked on following the series, I have confidence in them that they will deliver a satisfying return to the series that keeps with the humor established nearly 2 decades ago. Not only that, but I hope the series keeps up with the music of Season 1. Meaning, yes, I would love to see Abandoned Pools return and make music for the show. KashCash made a good video about this that I will link in the description. He also made art of what I would look like as a character in Clone High, which was also cool. Thanks, Cash. Check him out. And with that, I'm going to ask you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. And guys, make sure to vote early because the voice actor for JFK said so.
Hi, I'm Chris Miller, voice of Clone High's JFK. JFK has become a meme recently, and my voice is on TikTok and Twitter, and I do not exactly understand why. Anyway, the original JFK knew nothing bad ever happens when you vote, and also possibly have some shenanigans with a mob, but that's for another time.
God, I love that man. See you guys next time.